St. Jude has been my hospital, my family's hospital, since 1961 when we moved to the area. All my brothers and sisters were born here, 7 of them, as well as many of my nieces and nephews, and there are 16 of them. So when it came time for me to make a career change, my first thought was, I want to work at St. Jude. I went from a 20-year career in transportation planning, decided I wanted to be a nurse, which I felt was my calling many years ago. I just needed time to get into that mindset. I went to school, I got my phlebotomy certification, and started my clinical rotation at St. Jude, was hired here, transferred to nursing once I finished nursing school 3 years later, and I've been here ever since. It's my hospital because we serve the community. I love taking care of people, being able to treat them with dignity and excellent care. St. Jude's my hospital, and I see myself being here for a long, long time.
I was not even 17 years old. I get injury playing soccer, and I was in St. Jude for like 6 days. And then I have a huge bill, no way to pay. And I said, what can I do, No job, no nothing. And so I came to St. Jude's to try to fix my bill. And then I've been directed to Sister Jane Francis. And when I walk in there, she told me that it's one thing I never going to forget it, and I always thank you to St. Jude's and to Sister Jane Francis that she tell me, because I asked her, how can I pay this bill? And she told me, no hurry about the bill. First, I want to see you walking okay. First, I want to see you heal, because that's why St. Jude's is here for. And it made me really good about it, because I was scared. How I gonna pay? And I had no job. I was young. And she made me feel it's a really human being more than anything else. And she told me the bill can be paid if you late can be back again. And she's saying, I wanted to see you in this office walking good. And that's why I be really proud about being an employee and part of the St. Jude's, because she make me feel very strong. From that day, I guess it gave me strong enough, because when I come from Mexico, I don't even speak one word English. I never been in school when I was young, and see what she did. Putting me in contact over here. I come into therapy, and after my leg was okay, I was voluntary to St. Jude, and she's saying that's how you bill being paid with your voluntary job. It makes me real good. And then I come in as an employee, and I feel better. I feel much better, because all 42 years I am here, I've been feel secure. I be feel that my family have a paycheck to come in. For some people saying money is not everything. Well, it's not everything, but it helps that tomorrow you open St. Jude's is here, you have a job. And that's what I feel. Every day I feel, and I say, thank you, God. Thank you, Sister Jane Francis. And the other sisters, they hire me.
St. Jude is a great place to work, and every day that I am getting ready for work, I'm always already thinking about the patients that I'm caring for. And many of them come in with the inability to be able to sit or stand or walk, or be able to do the basic things that we take for granted, such as brushing your teeth or using the restroom, or hugging their loved ones. And so when I come to work and I am able to help those patients be able to do those kind of activities, and to see them first be able to sit and then be able to stand and walk and be part of the recovery process, and not only touch their ability to be mobile as a physical therapist, but also to touch their lives to be able to continue to function as they did before within their own family system and within the community is just something that really motivates me daily and really makes my life be more complete as a person and as a physical therapist.
It was a privilege to help one patient when she was in for a elective surgery, and yet during the time that she was there, a friend died, and how she was just really distraught and having problems working with therapies because she couldn't keep her mind on it. She was just in a lot of pain, and being able to minister to her on that level and helping her to go through that, and actually even praying with her to help her to move on and be able to kind of get into the therapies and to progress. And she actually had healing moments where she was able to come to grips with how she was going to deal with this death. And it was just really a privilege to be a part of that for her.
As an employee, I feel like this is a true ministry. I've been to many medical places. I've worked a lot of different areas. It's more like a ministry, giving back and being that extension, that hand of Christ to our patient care.
For 20 years, I've worked directly with St. Jude. I love coming to work. People will say, "Why are you still working?" And I said, "Because I love what I do. I'm there to help support and to be supported. And I feel that we are a family and that we work as a team. And when I come across to the main lab at St. Jude, I feel like the family has been extended. We're there for one another to support." And the main reason that probably other than work, I love the work, I love my physicians. My personal doctor, Dr. Saltman, had it not been for him when I had breast cancer, it would not have been found as quickly as he did. He even made the appointment with Dr. Petrie for the surgery, even with Dr. Lee Young for the oncologist. Dr. Young is awesome. He is one awesome gentleman. He said, "If there's anything I can do for you, let me know." And then, of course, Dr. Paneras, Dr. Meow. I could go on and on and on. And my orthopedic is Dr. Shanfield. You cannot outdo Dr. Shanfield. He's very loving, very caring. I've told my family, if anything happens to me, get me to St. Jude, because my doctors are there and they know me, and they're a wonderful hospital.
Last year I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, so I took that the hardest. So my the department, which is my director, they supported me 100% with my diagnosis and me having to go through chemo, radiation therapy, and I'm very grateful to have them supporting me, and this is why I love St. Jude.
I've been here at St. Jude for about 6 years in the X-ray department. The reason why I chose St. Jude as one of the hospitals to come and work at was because of the core values that they have here at the hospital. Working here has brought me multiple levels of experience. I've been able to further my career by some of the programs they have in place, like facilitative leadership. There's also programs that they have in place for employees to voice their opinion in shared governance, which I was a part of. The collaboration that's taking place between the staff and the physicians is a pretty excellent service that we provide. We're able to work with multiple departments. We're pretty interdisciplinary as far as our approach to care. I treat every patient as if they were a family member of mine, and I want to provide them the same kind of care I would if they were a family member of mine. Knowing that I have tons of support here as far as doctors, other employees, I know in my heart that when I'm coming to work that, you know, we're all here for the right reason. We're here to take care of patients and their families. So I get joy knowing that we're here to help people.
I work in the emergency department. I've been working here just about 10 years now. Emergency is a very challenging environment, but we have awesome staff, there to support us, take care of people every day.
St. Jude is my hospital because it is one of the finest places to work. I work with the best nurses, physicians, anesthesiologists, and surgeons, and between all of us in surgery, we have a very collaborative working environment and provide the best care for our patients. I came here, did I want to say that? In 1996, and I came to St. Jude because they'd had such a great reputation of providing such excellent care in the North Orange County area. I have a personal experience to share that 1 year ago, my husband had a stroke and was brought to St. Jude. And he's done wonderful. He's had a great year of getting stronger, and he's back 100%. And that is thanks to the fabulous emergency department, the nurses in the ICU on the floor and on the rehab to north, the physical therapists, the occupational therapists, and his outpatient care at CRW was phenomenal. I continue to come to work every day because I have one of the best jobs in nursing, and I know it and appreciate it. I get to work with a great management team that supports and encourages our development, all of us, not just me, but all of our development through educational opportunities, promotion of joining hospital committees, and everyone has a voice at St. Jude. I have an opportunity to work with some of the best surgeons, anesthesiologists, nurses, I think anywhere in the United States. We have a very collaborative working relationship in surgery, and I just feel blessed every day to be able to come to work at St. Jude.
I knew I was going to be a nurse at the age of 9. My grandma was a nurse, and I was so drawn to her and the way in which she loved what she did. She knew she made a difference every single day, and she never felt like it was a job. She always felt like it was a calling, something she was served to do. And I knew from a very young age that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to help other people. And I've never regretted that decision. It really laid the foundation for my entire career. And when I came to St. Jude 6 years ago and I walked through the halls, I knew that I was home. I felt that this was a ministry that embodied everything that I had learned, everything that I believed, and I've never been disappointed. I am honored every single day that I come to work. I have the opportunity to work alongside and see the wonderful work that our nurses do each and every day, each and every night. It is truly a calling for them as well. They make a difference in every person's life that they touch, and they warm my heart. They make me proud, and I couldn't be at a better place, and that's why St. Jude is my hospital.
St. Jude is my hospital because when you wake up in the morning and show up to work, I feel a sense of purpose coming in here. I am fortunate enough to be employed at an organization where I am treated as an individual and not just an employee, and the organization supports what I do, and they bring out the best in me, bringing the best medical care for our patients through being collaborative with other disciplines and having a sense of community within St. Jude. And when we do that for our patients, it really is impactful, and it changes their lives as well as my life, and that's why St. Jude's my hospital. The benefits of being collaborative with other disciplines is it just makes you a well-rounded nurse. It makes you appreciate what other disciplines are doing for your patient, and that way you're able to coordinate the care that your patient needs and advocate for their well-being while they're under your care. That means that I can be the best nurse for my patient, Simple as that.
St. Jude is my hospital because St. Jude does have the 4 core values: dignity, justice, excellence, and service. And those 4 values can be refined down into one statement, and that is, be kinder than necessary.
St. Jude is my hospital and has been my hospital my entire life. I was born in St. Jude. My children were born in St. Jude. My parents' end-of-life care was at St. Jude. And now I've kind of come full circle, having worked at St. Jude for about 8 years now. I truly enjoy working here. The values align with my own personal values. One of the great things about working at St. Jude, it's really been life-altering for me in a number of ways. When I came to St. Jude, a lot of changes had occurred in my life. We had lost, my wife and I had lost our parents about a year prior. And I have learned from our patients some of the most wonderful life lessons that you could not get at any university in the country. I've learned about grace, I've learned about courage, I've learned about compassion from our patients. And it's just a privilege to care for them. And that's what brings me to work every day. I just love caring for the patients that come through our doors. And that's what I think is a great ministry of this hospital, because we don't look at anyone's socioeconomic background or anything like that. When someone comes through that door, regardless of who they are, regardless of where they came from, we treat them with the same care and consideration each and every time they visit us.
I've seen firsthand how the nurses and the doctors treat the patients here, and it's just with such compassion and grace and dignity that really propels me, and it makes me want to do my best work here at the hospital. And
St. Jude is my hospital. I've been here for almost 28 years, and I travel 53 miles one way to get here every day. It's just an awesome place to work. The people I work with have also been here a very long time. Teamwork is great, physicians are great, nursing staff, administration. They listen to you, they help you. We have great resources, and it's just a fun place to work. It's come a long way. I've seen it do a lot of transitions, and it's all for the good and all for the patients.
I love working at St. Jude for multiple reasons. One is that I'm able to come to work every day and do the best that I can do on a daily basis because I have the support of my colleagues, coworkers, as well as my director. And that's very fulfilling to be able to come into work every day and know that I can just do my best and make a difference in other people's lives. It's also very empowering to see that on a daily basis, everyone just goes that extra mile for our patients. I see it in small gestures and very grandiose gestures. Anything from seeing someone lost in the hospital. This actually happened the other day. I saw a staff member help a woman who was lost in the lobby of the hospital. She was looking for the emergency room, and her husband, who she shared is never sick, has never been sick, was in the ER, and you could see the concern in her face. She even got a little teary-eyed, and the staff member walked her all the way to the emergency room and made sure that she found her husband. And that just meant the world to her. So that there's a small gesture, but it meant the world to her. Other things, like I know our oncologists are always doing what they can to make sure that they help our patients feel their best every day. They're calling patients with good news on their days off to make sure that they are relieved of their anxiety. I see our own oncology staff members, they'll band together when they see a patient that's struggling, whether it's with their symptoms, their disease, or even financial issues. I know we had a young gentleman with some cancer that couldn't even provide his own gas to get to treatments, and so the team came together and made sure that every day he had what he needed to make it to his treatments. I've even seen them band together for our own, to take care of our own staff members that are in financial a situation where they're just struggling, and people pitch in to make sure that they get through that hard time. So I just know there's always this feeling of we're here together, we're here for each other, but ultimately we're also here for our patients and our families, and everyone's willing to go that extra mile to help out. I was affected myself with a kidney disease when I was very small, actually. And so I've always been around healthcare, and I've always had very, very loving and compassionate nurses and physicians, and that really impressed upon me the help that they gave me, and I've always remembered that and been grateful for that. And so, again, ever since I was little, I always wanted to return that favor and be able to help patients, help people, help families when they're in their, moment of need.
What drew me to healthcare was the effect that you could have on other people's lives, not just the patient, but the family and the friends that are connected with the patient. Because when one patient gets healed, it also has the ripple effect within their household. It's the patient is somebody's mother, somebody's father, somebody's spouse, somebody's child. So even though you're helping just one patient, you're helping like an entire family when you get to have a positive effect on their lives.
I've been a nurse for a little over 7 years now. I've been a nurse practitioner for about 2. And the reason that St. Jude is my hospital is because just the overwhelming care that the staff provide. What's kept me here is the overwhelming support from the nurses to even the people who are cleaning the bathrooms, to our support staff, to the chaplains, the doctors. It's such a welcoming environment to work in, and that's the reason I love working here.
The first day that I stepped at St. Jude, just doing my interview, I felt something different. I came home, I asked my husband, I said, it's gonna be a longer drive. Would you consider me driving 45 minutes to work? And he said to me, well, honey, how did you feel when you walk into that facility? Did you feel any difference? Do you really wanted it to drive 45 minutes? And I said, I feel very different. This is it. This is my hospital. This is where I want to work.
St. Jude is my hospital because for as long as I've been here, I've always had a sense of family. Walking through the hallways, whether it's administration, whether it's a CEO, regardless of what role people play, everybody will stop you, everybody will greet you, everybody gives you that warm welcome, and that really gives me a sense of family. I'm an interpreter. I feel that it makes a difference because I'm a bridge between two different groups or people or two different areas. I have to convey a message between two parties, and I think that if I wasn't here or if I wasn't at the bedside, that communication or that gap wouldn't be bridged. I tell my kids at home when they ask me, what does Daddy do for a living? I help people. I make them feel better just like I would at home.
I'm Hamed Farid, and I'm a neurointerventionalist here at St. Jude Medical Center. I consider St. Jude my home because I've had a great opportunity to work with the staff members here, mainly the cath lab staff, their nurses in the cath lab, on the floors, as well as the ICU. It's been a great pleasure working with them, and the line of work that I do, mainly with stroke, helping these patients really can't be done with just one person. Our success here is completely dependent on the nursing staff, the technologists, and the support that I really get in order to be able for our team to help our patients from the moment they walk through the emergency room with the nursing staff there and the physicians, all the way to the cath lab team, all the way up to the floor, as well as the rehab, physical therapy. So it's just a team of everyone pitching in and really helping patients in order for us to really have the best outcomes here. And I'm proud to say that St. Jude is my home because we really do have one of the best outcomes in all of the county for stroke patients.
St. Jude Medical Center, it's my hospital
because it allows me to provide the care for visitors and patients. It's meaningful to me because that was the way I was raised, always help out others in need.